For a long time, we've believed that a lasting love requires the parallel effort of both partners to grow together. Many of you have shared your thoughts with Better Version, wishing that if both partners had listened to this, read this book, and changed together, perhaps the relationship wouldn't have ended in regret. We always think love is a two-person affair, but in reality, many find themselves stuck, realizing that no matter how hard they try, their changes only account for 50% of the outcome. This is because everyone has their own rhythm, their own needs. You yearn for your partner to be in tune with you, yet distance persists in the relationship when one sacrifices and the other dominates, leading to endless arguments. In the book I'm sharing today, psychologist Chris Moon offers a profound perspective. An intimate relationship is actually your own story. If you still believe that love requires two people to bear the burden and change together to endure, perhaps you haven't fully grasped the love lessons destiny has reserved for you. Throughout this book, the author weaves a message blending psychology and Buddhist philosophy. There is no one else out there, only you. The author asserts that your sole effort to change is actually enough to make your marriage and love life better. I've tentatively translated this book's title as Intimate Relationships, The Bridge to the Soul. The author believes that your lover or life partner appears in your life to help you understand yourself, heal hidden pains, and connect with your most authentic self. This book will guide you through a journey of passionate love, conflicts that seem to shatter everything, and the choice between paralysis or happiness. On this journey, I believe you will find lessons for yourself. With Valentine's Day approaching, I hope this will be a meaningful gift to help you understand your own heart. Now, I invite you to listen to a sharing from Better Version titled, How to Achieve Awakening in Marriage and Love, through the book Intimate Relationships, The Bridge to the Soul by Chris Moon. Lesson on Escaping the Halo Illusion and Returning to Your Inherent Completeness. The author divides relationships into 4 stages. The first is the halo stage. This is similar to the halo effect in psychology, where you feel the other person is wonderful, as if you found the ideal person for your life. In this stage, people think, I am in love and being loved. But in reality, that love merely satisfies the unmet needs of childhood. During childhood, people always seek 2 things: a sense of belonging and affirmation of their self-worth. If a child doesn't receive enough of either, they will spend their entire lives searching for someone to provide that feeling. Paradoxically, to attract others, people often pretend to possess these qualities. For instance, when they want a confident person as a partner, they might think, a confident person wouldn't like someone too insecure. So they try to project confidence in front of the other person, even if it's not truly how they feel inside. In this process, when that person treats you well, you might think you've found love. But don't forget that your partner is also looking for someone to fulfill their own needs. They too are wearing similar masks. Therefore, during the dating phase, both are not purely in love. They are actually exchanging illusions to satisfy unhealed longings from the past. When this mask falls, expectations begin to rise. You start wanting to change your partner. The book says that expectation is the road to hell. The more you expect, the more your subconscious believes you are lacking love, because when you don't have something, you desire it even more. This belief has been deeply ingrained in our subconscious since childhood. Parents hitting, scolding, forcing, controlling, setting limits, causing mental pressure, these things make you feel hurt and think, I didn't receive enough love from my parents. But this is a misunderstanding. Think about it. When you become a parent and can't understand your children or use harsh words, interfere, wanting them to do what you want, does this mean you don't love them? The answer, of course, is no. In your heart, you deeply love your children. But we need to understand that everyone is a parent for the first time. As Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh said, parents are just grown-up children with their own cracks. They too suffered pain from childhood, not knowing how to love or express love, rather than lacking love. None of us lack love. This is what the Buddha taught, called inherently complete. Therefore, you need to absolutely trust that you genuinely already possess love and don't need to demand others to meet your expectations. But how can one easily let go of this expectation? Remember, letting go of expectations is not done by reason, but best done by a grateful heart. But don't start by being grateful to your partner. First, be grateful to your parents. Revisit those childhood emotions. no matter how much hurt they caused, you can still understand, forgive, respect, and stop blaming them. Be grateful for their upbringing and bringing you into existence, grateful that their spiritual and emotional union allowed you to be here and experience this life. Only with gratitude can you truly return home, return to your inherent self that already holds love. So, how do you know if you've truly let go? The author says, look at your relationship with your partner. If thoughts like, why is she doing this to me? Or, if she loved me, they would do this, no longer arise within you, and you simultaneously feel love flowing between you two, then you've succeeded. But if you don't feel lightness, still weigh pros and cons, still feel hurt, then perhaps you haven't fully let go. Or if you've let go but discover that behind the first expectation, another powerful expectation is waiting, it means you still need to continue practicing the lesson of letting go in your life. True love is not a game of filling voids, but a journey back to the completeness inherent within you. A poet once wrote, "You've cried enough, now open the door to your heart where the entire universe awaits." When you dare to shed the fake halo, you will meet your beloved not through illusion, but through the genuine connection of two awakened souls, like two mountains standing side by side, not needing to lean on each other to be taller. Love is meeting at the source, not bargaining over cracks. Every life has cracks, that's where the light gets in. Stage of disillusionment. Many skip this lesson in the first stage and move on to the second, disillusionment. Disillusionment is when two people grow closer, but also burst into inevitable arguments. 4 destructive behaviors commonly appear as warnings in this stage. 1. Attention-seeking asterisk. A typical example is arguing over trivial things. 2. Power struggle asterisk asterisk. Each person wants the other to obey them. 3. Revenge mentality asterisk. Deliberately annoying the other person in ways they hate. 4. Self-isolation asterisk asterisk. Accepting that no one can change anyone, so giving up, burying emotions in a silent tomb. So why can't love avoid suffering? As Carl Jung said, what you refuse to confront in yourself will become your fate. Every argument is actually a cry for help from the wounded child within you. When your partner's actions touch a childhood scar, we often lack the courage to open up, choosing instead to scream in anger. Because facing childhood pain is like standing before a storm, we fear devastation, so anger at our loved one becomes a temporary umbrella. Anger is a magic that both numbs the pain and deceives you with an illusion of power. As the Buddha taught, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Yet, we still immerse ourselves in feeling like victims, using rage to demand the recognition we lacked in childhood. Arguing with a lover is sometimes just a way for a helpless child of the past who couldn't resist their parents to try to shout, "See me, love me. I was right." But here, the author poses a profound question. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? The truth is, if you continue to argue and fight for power, you are merely sacrificing your partner to protect yourself. You still haven't faced the shortcomings and traumas from your childhood. So what is our lesson in this stage? It's to view disillusionment as a gift, not a terrible fate. As Rumi said, every life has cracks, that's where the light gets in. The strange thing is, when we dare to confront pain, it transforms into a teacher. This gift will guide you to grasp the truth that making a marriage and love life better doesn't mean two people have to stay together forever. A happy heart is not measured by the time spent together, but by the depth of understanding. If you view disillusionment as a gift, you can embark on a path of growth, using communication to achieve outcomes where both are satisfied, and always prioritizing both your joy and happiness equally. Alongside this, you understand that if you are merely struggling, feeling you might still be at a disadvantage in the relationship, it's better to end it. Breaking up is a good solution if it stems from love. That's when both realize they cannot provide what the other needs, and that their personalities are incompatible. Staying together would only be torment and anguish. Sometimes, letting go is the way to cherish love most beautifully. For every river needs to flow into a vast ocean, not all shores are destined to walk hand in hand. The yearning to hold onto a relationship simply out of fear of loss is like clutching sand in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more happiness slips through your fingers. When love becomes an all-or-nothing battle, I need that person, we must be together forever to have complete happiness, You inadvertently become the director of a play of ignorance. You will either resort to manipulative and distorted behaviors as mentioned earlier, or you will accept, give up, and compromise in silence. This is not an escape, but a self-made prison. Many will use children as an excuse to stay together their whole lives, but don't use children's names to turn a family into a prison without bars. As the writer Ho Sen wrote, children don't need perfect parents, they need parents brave enough to be true to themselves. A child growing up in a room devoid of love will carry inherited wounds, like a seed sprouting in darkness. No matter how hard it tries to grow, it will only become a twisted tree. At this point, the author and many others advise, let go. Letting go is not failure, but the courage to rewrite destiny. As a Japanese proverb says, a falling flower has no regrets, for it has given all its fragrance to life. Sometimes, true love is daring to say goodbye, not because the love is gone, but to give each other the chance to find their own sky, vast enough to fly, to grow, and to complete life's lessons. Stage of introspection, facing the darkness to find inner light. The journey of growth is like a path from darkness towards light. If one accepts disillusionment, they can move on to the stage of introspection. The author says this stage is like the soul's longest night because you must directly confront the cracks you've long avoided. As philosopher Socrates once said, the unexamined life is not worth living. Introspection is the gateway to meeting your most authentic self. On this journey, you will identify 3 recurring roles in relationships: the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer. The first role, the victim ***, is where you wallow in complaints and blame the other person. Next, the persecutor. You turn pain into a weapon, taking out anger on your partner or yourself. The image of someone harming themselves when angry, like slapping their own face or banging their head against a wall, is proof of darkness dominating the soul. The last role is the **rescuer ***. This type of person seems noble, but is actually a trap when you shoulder others' problems instead of letting them stand on their own. These 3 roles intertwine, creating a painful, triangular vortex. Many couples get stuck in this dark dance, constantly switching roles. One becomes the persecutor, the other the victim, and vice versa. Even when both play the rescuer, they focus too much on their children, inadvertently making the child the persecuted one. To escape this maze, the author advises us to bravely follow the truth and overcome 5 psychological traps. 1. The first trap is *** blind loyalty to the family of origin ***. Many sacrifice their own happiness by prioritizing family opinions. They are willing to sacrifice their marriage to protect family honor, as in the bitter saying, "Whether my wife is right or wrong, I still side with my parents." This unconscious loyalty keeps them forever a replica of harmful habits from their past childhood and inherited from their own parents. 2. The second trap is the **sacrifice mentality**, where love turns into a burden. When you do everything with a sacrificial mindset, you inadvertently nurture a demanding person. Like the law of karma, silent endurance will give rise to insatiable demands. It's unclear who creates whom, whether the demanding person came first or the sacrificial one, but what you need to understand is that if you do something for others but don't feel happy, you've fallen into the sacrifice mentality. You will feel everything is a burden, and that is a truly painful relationship model. 3. There is also the **dependence mentality**. Sometimes men depend on women and vice versa, thinking they cannot live without the other person. There are even parents who depend on their children, constantly enduring and doing everything to make their children happy. But we need to understand that if someone needs another person to do everything just to feel a sense of belonging, it means they are losing the inherent completeness within themselves. 4. The next trap to overcome is *** projection**. What we dislike most about our partner is often the inverse image of ourselves. Psychologist Carl Jung affirmed that what you refuse to confront in yourself will become the image you despise in others. When you criticize your partner for being selfish, perhaps you are denying the deepest, most selfish part of yourself. 5. Finally, we need to avoid the 5th trap, the temptation of death **. Many people think of death as a way to escape a broken marriage, but this is merely an illusion of pain. Don't let darkness swallow hope. If you choose to end it, you will still have to go through these lessons many more times, lifetime after lifetime, unable to truly awaken. The author advises that to overcome the traps in the journey of love, you need to combine all the lessons from previous stages, continuously introspecting and upholding the following principles. 1. Don't fear disagreements asterisk. View your problems as a gift, an opportunity to heal the fear of lack from childhood. As the Buddha taught, afflictions are bodhi, suffering is the seed of enlightenment. 2. Escape the framework of the problem asterisk. Don't get stuck in arguments about who is right or wrong. Seek your own needs hidden behind each conflict. 3. Take 100% responsibility asterisk asterisk. You are the owner of your karma, the heir of your karma. This is a saying from the Dhammapada. If you know that your marriage life is your own story, your own journey of facing your inner self to adjust your own state and understand the voids within your heart, then you can take 100% responsibility for what happens in your life, no longer feeling pain, loneliness, and hurt because of others. This journey of introspection is not a path of roses, but an immensely rugged descent through the dark night so you can find your inner dawn. Like a lighthouse at sea, light will only shine when you dare to face yourself. Stage of enlightenment, when love transforms into the most beautiful light. At this point, you can reach the final stage, enlightenment. This is when you truly feel the current of love flowing within you. Enlightenment is not a destination, but a state of awakening amidst the impermanent flow of life. Like the dawn, it comes unexpectedly, a magical moment, sometimes through a book page, a few wise words, or a tear touching the crack in your own soul. As Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh said, enlightenment is always here and now, we just need to open the door of our hearts to receive it. This book doesn't chart a specific path, but instills in the reader the belief that when we dare to live fully with love, light will find its way to us. A key quote in the book, like an awakening philosophy, states, "If you want to get somewhere the fastest way, the only way is that you are already there." This reminds me of Lao Tzu's concept of wu wei, non-action. True happiness lies not in the journey of seeking, but in letting go to become one with the universe. How can you already be there? In enlightenment, the method the author proposes is, first, to treat love as a verb. For example, when conflict erupts, the author chooses not to remain silent or argue, but asks themselves, if I loved her right now, what would I do? The answer doesn't lie in reason, but in active steps. Cooking his wife's favorite meal, gently hugging her, or simply listening without judgment. Philosopher Erich Fromm once wrote, "Love is not a feeling. It is a commitment nourished by every gesture." Like the quantum tunneling effect, where nitrogen atoms overcome hydrogen barriers through the energy of love, we can break through all conflicts by raising our emotional frequency to the highest level, actively giving without demanding. Next, use the art of allowing, like the melody of the Beatles' legendary song, Let It Be. This art is not indifference or surrender, but absolute trust in the law of cause and effect. For instance, when your wife says, "Oh, this is so annoying, that is so annoying," don't comfort her or join in her complaints. Just say two simple words, allow it. What do we allow? We allow the worry to happen. And for yourself, too, when things, good or bad, arise, allow them to appear, then quietly observe them. That is enough. This is similar to the Tai Thuan Fat Mon, harmonizing with reality in Buddhism, or what spiritualists call surrender, letting go of resistance so the soul can harmonize with the universe. In essence, letting go is holding still, and holding still is seeing. If you can allow impermanence, you will realize you can do everything according to the true nature of your soul. Finally, unconditional love asterisk. When we stop demanding, "You must be this way," "I must be that way," the space between two people naturally fills with love's purest energy. Wang Yangming, a master of mind science, called this Zhai Liang Zhai, acting in accordance with one's innate conscience without being burdened by the ego. For example, a wife cooks for her husband not to receive praise, but for the joy of giving warmth. And remember, enlightenment is not a permanent state, but moments when you suddenly touch your soul, like a wave dissolving into the ocean or a bird spreading its wings in the blue sky. When you dare to love with full awareness, every challenge, every difficulty transforms into a miracle. Love needs no wings, it is already the sky. Through these 4 stages, I believe everyone has gained a deeper insight into the karma of love and married life. You will realize the truth that we often seek a life partner simply to fulfill the lacking needs within our hearts. Thus, you place immense pressure on that person, but changing them is incredibly difficult, and that is the fundamental reason for arguments. When disappointment accumulates sufficiently, marriage becomes a cage holding both captive. Now, the only way for you to escape that cage, to achieve awakening even within a loving relationship, is to bravely recognize that the source of all problems lies within your own inner self. The journey of love is like a boat navigating four waves, from the brilliant halo to bitter disillusionment, from the dark night of introspection to the dawn of enlightenment. Like two sides of a coin, you bravely face your dark side to find the light within yourself. As Helen Keller once said, the most beautiful light is always found in the deepest darkness. When two souls dare to shed the shell of fear, they will meet each other in their purest essence. I wish you the courage to love with full awareness so that every step you take leads you back to your soul.